I'm Ben Meyer.
I'm Rob Wright.
And this week we're doing the last of our fall games previews for 2008. This is covering all the games out through the rest of the year, mostly in November.
Yes.
A couple December titles. And we're going to just jump right in. Rob, What is number one on our list?
Well, sadly, it's not StarCraft 2.
Oh,
no.
There's a lot of deuces on this.
There's a lot of sequels, but maybe next year. First up on the list is Tom Clancy's End War, which is an RTS for the consoles. It's coming out for the 360. I think there's a PC version planned for later on. We'll see. But it's a console strategy game, and it's interesting because it relies on voice-activated commands. So you strap your 360 headset on, and you speak commands into it. You say Unit 1, attack Quadrant 3, or whatever, and it happens, and you don't ever need to use the control pad.
Do you feel like a soldier?
Do I feel like a brigadier general or whatever, like issuing commands? Not really. I kind of feel like a dork when I'm playing around other people.
Did it accept swear words?
No, it did not. It did not. It rejected vulgarity. But I will say this: I enjoyed, once I got into speaking the commands and not being so self-conscious, it worked pretty well. I mean, it took some getting used to, but I'm intrigued by it.
I wonder if that will become a more popular style for certain types of games.
It'll be interesting, and I think they're doing the right thing. I think Ubisoft's doing the right thing with this one because it's more of the real-time tactics, World of Conflict style.
Right.
Heavy on the action. You jump right into battle. You don't have to build bases and gather resources. So, I don't have to say, go mine that node.
That's better for the console crowd anyway.
Just get right into the action. So we'll see.
Speaking of getting right into the action, next up, Resistance 2, also out on the 4th of November. This is the follow-up to Resistance: Fall of Man, which was one of the kind of hallmark FPS for the PS3 when it first came out. And this is following up storyline, gameplay along the same lines, big boss battles, aliens, alternative history. But what this game is really about is the multiplayer. Now they have an expanded co-op mode, and they have a side-by-side, and I think it's 8 or 10-person co-op, but the competitive multiplayer, 60-person skirmish, and all kinds of different games for that. Yeah. Really, it's incredible if they can do it without lag. And you played this.
I did. I got a chance to play it back in the summer. They had a preview event for the game, and I was skeptical that they could actually pull off 60 players in one game, but played it, didn't have any lag, and the map design was actually really, really good. I mean, it's managed chaos.
Right, managed chaos. They break the two teams into squads, and so you're going to go in squad on squad.
Yeah, you can have multiple squads on a single map. The map will be huge, and you kind of have to fight your way through different factions or groups or squads, and I really, really enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to it.
It's a lot of bang for your buck there in that title.
Yeah, I would say so. Next up is Call of Duty World at War for the PC and the consoles, and that's coming out on November 11th. Now, this new installment of Call of Duty is actually going back in time. It's not Modern Warfare era. It is going back to World War II, to the Japanese islands for the first time. So the Pacific Theater.
The swamp.
That's sort of the big trick for this game. Now, there's going to be some other parts of the game. There's a Russian campaign again, and there's aerial combat missions. And I don't really know why they went back to Russia. They could have just stayed in Japan. But I did get a chance to play this game at a preview event for Activision, and man, the co-op and the multiplayer is superb, I think. It's very much like Call of Duty 4. I mean,
same engine.
Same engine, same sort of menu, same perks, same create a class slot. They've actually upped the number of slots. They've basically taken the formula from Call of Duty 4 and added more to it. It feels like Call of Duty 4, but just in World War II era. It's a World War II scenery and World War II weapons. But the big addition, I think, that's really going to put this game over the top is the co-op. Online co-op, 4-player online co-op for the PC. You got a chance to play that at the preview event. I thought that it was just fantastic. It's such a great addition, long overdue for the Call of Duty series. Just being able to play with 4 people and go into a battle zone and have, to run around and heal your teammates. It's just it's great. I think this could be one of the surprise titles of the fall holiday season. So.
Yeah, I mean, Call of Duty, big hit. So
there you go.
As long as they stick to that path.
Yeah.
Another console exclusive this time for the Xbox 360 is Epic's Gears of War 2. If you like Gears of War, this is bigger, badder, more blood, bigger weapons, bigger Locust, the same crew out there. You know, they promised to go much more in depth with the story this time, bigger single-player campaign, which I know was somewhat of a limitation in the first one. They've also beefed up multiplayer too, but expanded co-op and competitive multiplayer. But really, it'll be interesting to see how this story develops.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked the first game. I felt like the single player though was too short, and I'm really intrigued to see what they do with that story and expanding that single player experience. But the meat shield mechanic. That's pretty cool for a game that really made its bread and butter with the cover system. Being able to grab a Locust and just use him as a shield, that's gonna be awesome, I think. Anyway,
he just finished Dead Space, people. I mean, he's a little gore obsessed.
I'm into gore right now. And speaking of gore, next up is Left 4 Dead, Valve's newest title. It's coming out for the PC and I think 360 and maybe the PS3 down the road. Yes. But PC, I mean, let's be honest, it's a Valve game. You should play it on the PC. It's coming out November 17th, and for those that don't already know, and how could you not, it is the co-op multiplayer game that pits 4 humans against a mass of zombies, and it looks pretty awesome. I played it at E3.
It's a lot of fun.
Pried away from it. It's one of my top 2 titles, I think, for the fall season. I think it's great to be able to go in and play with 3 other people and battle your way through this infestation of all manner of undead. But it was really cool that they allowed you to play as the zombie too and try to it's competitive multiplayer too. So I'm really enjoying that.
It's a nice mixture of kind of action and horror. I think. They kind of nailed that, and Valve usually does.
Yeah, and it's a shooter, and they can do shooters pretty well.
I think so. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Next up, Prince of Persia. This is for the consoles and the PC. Out actually in December, 12/2. And reboot, classic franchise. Fans of Prince of Persia remember those titles, and they have stayed true to the certain platformer aspects of it, but what's really changed in this version is what it looks like. They use this, what they call an illustrative style, kind of looks like a graphic novel or a high-end comic book. Really, really beautiful setting. If the gameplay can live up to what it looks like, it's going to be a big hit. Of course, they did Assassin's Creed as well. No, but anyway, I'm giving them benefit of the doubt at this one. The prince has a female sidekick this time, which is kind of cool, and she helps out a little bit, and you're turning neighborhoods from dark to light, and it has this very mystical, otherworldly feel to it.
Sounds a little bit like Twilight Princess.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, I wonder why that would be.
No, I'm sure it'll be good. I give Ubisoft a lot of credit for taking the franchise that sold a lot of copies, made a lot of money, and rebooting it and giving it a bold new look, very watercolor, comic book style. It's cool.
I like it. I like the way it looks.
Yeah, so that'll be intriguing. Last but not least, this game is not a full title. It is an expansion pack, but it's probably going to sell more copies than any other game on this list, at least in the first week.
For sure.
But maybe total as well. It is none other than World of Warcraft, Wrath of the Lich King, the expansion pack that's coming out on November 13th, and that's in a couple weeks.
Yeah. If you're a
might as well get in line now.
crackhead, you know when this is coming out.
Yeah.
You probably already pre-ordered it or something.
Yeah. I mean, we saw the uproar from the fans at BlizzCon recently, so we know what's coming. This will be interesting. Of course, there's going to be the level cap is going to be raised to 80 now. More importantly, perhaps, is the introduction of the Death Knight class. I'm not sure exactly what the Death Knight, how it's going to be different from some of the other classes, but I know that a lot of fans are pumped up about
more crack.
And that's the important thing. I mean, Blizzard knows how to please its fans, and
more crack.
Stop saying that. I know that this is going to sell like a couple million copies, just like Burning Crusade did. So yeah, it's gonna be heavy. So last up, we had some titles we don't really have time to talk about in depth, but they are coming out, and these could be really good ones as well. Mirror's Edge, the first-person platformer, female
kind of a free runner type game. It looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
James Bond, Quantum of Solace, gotten some decent buzz around it. Shooter. Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe fighting game.
Fighting game.
If you like comic book characters. Tomb Raider Underworld. Lara Croft, kind of the Jenna Jameson of video game games. Getting a little worn at the edges.
Getting a little worn out.
Sonic Unleashed also out. You know, kind of
You need
decent.
a good new Sonic game though. No, hopefully that's it. So.
Yeah, the level design looked really nice on that. And last but not least, Grand Theft Auto 4 for the PC. That's out on 12/2 as well.
Hopefully it ships with no bugs and maybe a few extra bits of content.
Ratchet up the graphics a little bit.
Yeah, you weren't impressed with the graphics.
It was kind of dark.
It was very dark. But you know what? We're going to get into Grand Theft Auto.
Well, we'll get into
another episode. We'll go into depth on the Grand Theft Auto 4 for the PC. So,
but that's all the time we have for this week. I'm Ben Meyer.
And I'm Rob Bright.
And we'll see you next time. I mean, Celtics. Banner night. Huh?
That was pretty sweet. I got choked
Paul
up.
Pierce cried? That's
I
what
cried.
Heard. You cried?
I got a little teared up.
You cried?
Yeah, I got a little teared up. It was emotional.
Okay.
Shut up. Do it.